All right, guys, it's Colton Lindsay with Winning the Inner Game. I'm starting a new segment today, and that is called 10 Minutes with a Fearless Agent. We've got our friend Leo on today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, where you're from, what market you're in, and how people can connect with you.
How's it going, everyone? Leo Vayman, real estate broker in Toronto, Canada. And you can connect with me at 905-616-7307.
Awesome.
My direct number.
And you're in the Fearless Agent Facebook group and also on Facebook, right?
That's right.
Cool. So connect with him. He's super awesome. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions about Fearless Agent. The first is, before we jump into that, is how long have you been a real estate agent and broker?
I've had my license for about 8 years. I was doing it part-time for 6 years while I was doing sales in another field. And then I've been in it about 2 years full-time now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
2 years full time. What made you change and take the plunge full time?
Just got to the point where, real estate was always there, was always my passion. And I got to the point where I was just like, look, you know what? If I worked as hard as I did at my other job, in sales, in real estate, I could do, if not the same, a lot better. So made the switch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice. Congratulations. And how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm going to be 38.
38. Still young. You got plenty of time to go. Awesome,
Young guy.
man.
Young guy.
So let me ask you this, Leo. What attracted you to Fearless Agent training and coaching?
Initially just coming upon your YouTube channel
Hmm.
and just the scripts that you were using, the dialogues you were using, your physical dialogues. Um, that you weren't getting that much resistance compared to what I was used to.
Yeah.
And when I started,
What were you using before?
I was using a lot of like, Mike Ferry stuff, other, Yes Master stuff, which were all great scripts, but I was getting a lot of resistance, to be quite honest with you.
Okay. And so how has your experience been since you've started with Bob and with Fearless Agent?
Oh, it's been fantastic. It's given me a lot more energy, a lot more motivation to actually, make the calls when you're speaking to these people because you're not getting argumentative, you're not getting into a battle, you're just asking them simple, straightforward questions and getting them answered, right?
Yeah, and that's the best part. I mean, we're not in the business of arguing. We're in the business of agreeing and just having a good time and enjoying it, right? So
Absolutely.
what would you say is the number one thing that you've learned since you started with Fearless Agent coaching and training?
The number one thing that I've learned,
Hmm.
um, the number one thing is basically, the the scripts for setting up appointments, the objection handlers, and really not getting into arguments with people over the phone trying to get an appointment because I'd be at a point where I'd book 20 appointments in a month with these people and maybe two of them would pan out. They just be booking appointments just to kind of get me off the phone. Where now where I'm booking appointments, I'm not being argumentative. They're a lot more solid, right? And they feel a lot more solid. So that's the number one thing that I would say about that.
What type of prospects are you normally calling?
Um, so I'm doing, yeah, definitely what I used to call the just listed, just sold, except not really saying the just listed, just sold thing anymore. So calling through, doing those type of cold calls, you would say. Calling for sale by owners. Here in Toronto, anyways, you can't really call too many expireds unless on the listing it says that you can. So the very few that we get, definitely call those as well. And then just starting to get into my my past clients sphere of influence and building my SOI, kind of like you guys have been teaching me in Fearless Agent.
Awesome, man. I love my sphere of influence. It is like my bread and butter now. And I built it off of, if you probably know, for sale by owners. I did listed
Right.
and sold over 40 FISBOs in 1 year's time. And that's what plunged me into build even a better referral business from those clients. So awesome, man. By the way, if you haven't already, I just released the For Sell by Owner Prospecting Mastery training, which is freaking phenomenal. It goes through my whole process of how I did that using the Fearless Agent script. So I want to check that out. But
I'll be getting it today.
and in fact, if anyone sees this right now, today is the last day that is available for the pre-launch amount of $97. Just so everyone knows. Afterwards, it goes to $247 starting tomorrow.
Wow.
So would you recommend Fearless Agent to other agents?
I would highly recommend Fearless Agent to other agents, and I wish I would have come across you guys 2 years ago as opposed to 3 months ago.
Awesome. Well, why is that? Why do you wish you would have come across it sooner?
Well, a lot of the stuff that I've been doing, it would have taken all the guesswork out, right? Would have given me the proper dialogues and just the mindset and the mentality how to go about it as opposed to trying to figure out on your own, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit challenging to try and just piece things together. And that's what I like about Fearless Agent is it's a long-term building of your business. It's not just turn and burn quick deals and repeat. You know what I'm saying? I know so many agents that they've been in this business 10, 15 years and they're just have to turn it over and over again versus creating a garden that just feeds them. And that's really what it's all about.
Which is what I was doing.
Yeah. So now you're moving from the turn and burn. So what have you changed in your business in these last 3 months from working with Fearless Agent?
Um, what I've changed, number one, is the the whole focus on what I'm doing on a daily basis. Before, I just used to be focused on making contacts, making sure I spoke to X amount of people. After talking with Bob and really following his system, is making sure that you book, the minimum 5 appointments a week. Go on three, list one at a good amount of commission and focus on that. So what I've done is, instead of just getting on the phones for 4 hours, making sure, I spoke to X amount of people, I'm making sure that I'm following up on my leads during my prospecting time as opposed to having that as a separate prospecting thing.
Yeah.
And it's done wonders. Like this week alone, I've booked already 4 appointments, all from focusing on the leads. I've spoken to about 200 people so far, but the majority of my appointments came from those leads that I generated before. So that's kind of what I've learned from Bob and I've been using, and also starting to mail out to them.
Awesome, man. Yeah, the mailers is what takes it to the next level. So I've been mailing my SI and past clients for a long time, once a month. And only, it's so funny, as long as I've been doing Fearless Agent, only last January, January, like December 14, January 15, did I start mailing my people farm and
Right.
really being consistent with that. And so I'm really stoked. I did like, I think 14 deals from that the first year. And I'm anticipating about 23 from that section this year. So I'm excited, man. That's cool. I love to hear that type of success. So what changes have you seen in your results? And I know it's only been 3 months. I mean, you're probably only starting to see results now, but what changes have you seen?
Well, it hasn't even been 3 months because we had Christmas in between, right? So it's
Yeah,
been maybe 2.5 months. But in terms of my mindset, my focus, and the way I'm going about things, it's been a complete 180 change. And just the response I'm getting from people that I'm talking to, whether on the phone or in person, it's a lot more positive, a lot less resistant, and it's just been in a short 2 months, it's been fantastic.
awesome, man. So just one more question, actually maybe two more, and then we'll wrap it up. So
Yeah.
as far as the affordability and what the investment is in the coaching and training program, how have you liked that compared to what you've been used to in the past or what you've seen?
Well, first of all, if you guys live in the States, it's dirt cheap. I'm in Canada and we've got the conversion rate, so I'm putting
Oh
another
yeah,
40% on top of that. But I think you guys don't charge enough. But compared to other coaching programs, they want you to pay $1,000 US a month. And they want you to lock into a 1 year contract without giving you anything up front, like you guys do, to try out and see, hey, is this for me or does it even work? Where you guys are like, look, you pay $1,000 a month. You got access to Bob every day to answer any questions, which is great, as opposed to before where you only speak to your coach once a week. And you can cancel any time, which you'd be crazy to anyways, right? But just that alone and the way you guys set it up, it's a no-brainer. I would recommend it to everybody.
awesome, man. I take a look at that too, and it's like sometimes it's like, yeah, I need to talk to Bob more. Sometimes I don't need to, right? Or even sometimes it's like I have like a 1 minute question, and even
Yeah.
if he doesn't answer, he gets back to me really quickly. And so I found that like it's a just completely different model for what most agents could really actually utilize and need. So I'm glad to hear you.
It's the right model.
I love hearing that it's the right model, man. Hey, I appreciate you. So if you guys haven't already hooked up with him on the Facebook, make sure to. Leo, Leovayman. He's in the Fearless Agent group. We appreciate you having on the new segment, 10 Minutes with a Fearless Agent. So we appreciate you, Leo. Thank you.
Awesome. Am I first?
You are the
Love it.
first one on this new segment. Congratulations. Thanks,
All right.
man.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you
Take
on
care.
Facebook. See you,
Bye.
man.